information system. Hello, everyone. I'm Pranita, an MS student in information systems. So today I'll guide you through chapter 9 of fundamentals of BPM on process aware information system. So we'll see how process aware information system transform the static process designs into live executable workflows that coordinate people, systems, and data. So over the next 15 minutes, we will cover what the process automation information systems are and the difference between the domain specific and domain agnostic systems. So a deep dive into business process management system, their architecture, real world use cases, and both benefits and challenges of adoption. So let's get started by placing the PAIS within the BPM lifecycle. And then here we could see like within the BPM life cycle, like after the design and analysis comes the implementation. So this is where PAIs become critical. So they are the engine that drives each step of a process based on the models we have built. So instead of paper forms and the email chains, PAIs automatically route tasks to the right people or system at the right time. So imagine like planning a recipe, then relying on fully automated kitchen appliances to carry out every like chopping, stirring, and timing precisely. So that's the role PIs play. So they remove manual handoffs and delays, ensure consistency, and set the stage for the real-time visibility. So by the end of implementation, our design process are no longer static; they are running live in PIS. And then here comes the next slide, like what is a process aware information system? So this is a software that knows your process logic, who does what, when, and in what order. It relies on an explicit process model, often a BPMN diagram that defines each activity, the order, decision points, and responsible roles. So when you start a new case, the PAIS reads a model, creates an instance, and begins the routing work. Now think of a smart conveyor belt in a factory. As soon as one worker finishes the task, the bell brings the items to the next station automatically. So a PIS does the same with the business tasks like handing off work, enforcing rules, and managing the data flows between humans and systems. And then here we could see the domain specific PAIs. They are like tailored to particular business areas. For example, an ERP system such as SAP or Oracle Financials come with built-in workflows for procure to pay and order to cash. So if you configure parameters, but the core process logic is already there, a CRM like Salesforce embeds lead to order flows, while an SCM system orchestrates order to delivery and return to refund processes, often like integrating barcode or RFID data. So a PLM system manages product development from concept through retirement. These systems accelerate deployment in their specialty, but you can't repurpose an ERP for say patient intake workflows like without heavy customization. And then And then here we could see the domain agnostic PAIs. So by contrast, like a business process management system or BPMS is a domain neutral. You provide it any process model, expense approval, student leave requests, software release pipelines, and it executes that model. So BPMS platforms like example, IBM, BPM, APN, and Camunda separate process logic from application code to change the workflow. So you update the model, not the underlying software. This model driven approach like lets organizations rapidly adapt the process without new code deployments. If next month, if you need an extra approval step in your procurement process, you will simply edit the BPM diagram and redeploy it to the BPMS. And here comes the types of BPMS. BPMS products like comes in four flavors along a flexibility rigidity spectrum. So the first one is like groupware, for example, like Google Workspace, which is like excellent for document collaboration, but without enforced task flows. And the second one is add HOC workflow. And the second one is ad hoc workflow. So users define or modify workflows at the runtime, ideal for research projects, but needs modeling skill. And the third one is production workflow. So the classic BPMS with strict predefined models that cases must follow exactly and perfect for high volume repeatable processes like invoice approvals. And the fourth one is like case management. Adaptive case management systems use like data driven suggestions rather than rigid flows. So they guide user based on case context, but allow deviations when needed, as in complex legal or healthcare cases. And then we could see the BPMS architecture. So in this slide, you can see the core components of a BPMS architecture working together. So an analysts use the process modeling tool to draw and publish the workflows into the process model repository, which the execution engine then reads to sign up and drive each case step by step. Like whenever a task requires human intervention, the engine sends it to the user's worklist handle, while automated steps invoke external services. So, for example, a credit check API or an ERP lookup. So finally, all activity is recorded in execution logs, or which the administration and monitoring tools used to generate real-time dashboards, alerts, and historical reports. So managers have full visibility into the process performance. So this is all about the BPMS architecture. And the next slide, we could see the case study on ACNS Insurance. So at ACNS Insurance, a BPMS transformed their claims handling like following things. So a customer files a claim online. So because of this, BPMS creates a case automatically. The first task, that is the initial assessment, is posted to every junior adjuster work list, like whoever picks it up and handles it. And the third one here is like if the claim amount exceeds like 10,000 bucks, the system routes it to a senior adjuster for approval. And every action, like from submission to payout, is logged and visible on the manager's dashboard. This eliminated lost or forgotten claims, balance workloads are dynamically and provided real-time transparency. And then here we could see the benefits of using a BPMS. So organizations adopt BPMS for like more main benefits. The first one is like workload automation. So like no more manual routing or chasing status updates. So BPMS delivers tasks directly to the right user. And the next one is like flexible integration. So BPMS sits on top of existing applications like ERP, CRM, or email. And the third one is like execution transparency. Real-time dashboards show like how many cases are in each step, while in historical logs enable performance analytics and uh, bottleneck identification. And the last one is like rule enforcement. So business rules like separation of duties, regulatory checks, like these are baked into the process model and cannot be bypassed, ensuring compliance every time. And here comes the challenges. However, BPMS projects face technical hurdles. So the first one is like legacy integration. Connecting to 20-year-old mainframes offer requires custom APIs or fragile screen scrapping workarounds, and then batch versus real-time processing. Like some core applications only run nightly batch jobs, like which clashes with BPMS expectation of immediate case-by-case updates. And the next one is like IT complexity and scalability. So a BPMS adds like another layer, engine, connectors, databases to the architecture, and organizations must plan for higher volumes of concurrent cases and ensure the robust middleware or service oriented architecture to handle the integration. And then so previously what we have discussed are the technical challenges, and here comes the organizational challenges. Like beyond the technology, people and politics are the bigger barriers. So stakeholder alignment, so processes cross multiple departments, like getting everyone to agree on a single workflow model, which requires negotiation and executive sponsorship. And then trust and culture, so employees may fear big brother tracking, so transparency about the data use, framing it as a tool that frees them from different coordination tasks, like which is very crucial. And training and adoption, like it is comprehensive hands-on training sessions and quick reference guides helps user feel confident rather than constrained. So these are the organizational challenges. And finally, we can conclude that like PAIs turn the process designs into live workflows, routing tasks automatically, and the domain specific system offer like out of the box processes for finance, sales, or supply chain, while BPMS provide a blank canvas for any process you model. Also, the BPMS architecture, like the modular engine, work list integrations, and like monitoring, it enables end-to-end automation and visibility. So, and the next we can say that like the real gains in efficiency, transparency, and compliance come with both technical integration work and significant change management efforts. So this is all about the ninth chapter. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. Thank you.